Green Noise is back for season 2.
Welcome to Green Noise, a podcast series from Cape Nature that is bringing nature to life, and we use white noise to try to sleep better, but green noise to make life better.
You've got this wall of fire coming towards you. What are you going to do?
It's a massive shift in tourism.
To build an inclusive and connected society, especially in the Western Cape.
Women just do things differently.
Welcome to Green Noise, Season 2 actually, a podcast series from Cape Nature, the Biodiversity Conservation Authority of the Western Cape. My name is Dan Corder, and I'm joined today by a wonderful guest, the exact right person to talk to about blue tourism. That's marine-based attractions in ecotourism. I'm thrilled to welcome none other than the CEO of Marine Dynamics, a real stalwart of blue tourism, Wilfred Chivell, although Chivell for his Lekalani relatives, he said. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me. What a beautiful place to be basically doing work in Assegaaibosch Nature Reserve in Yonkazuk with Cape Nature. It's nice.
Thank you very much for having me. And the first thing I want to say is that the people setting up this venue, amazing, because they could, they had a good choice of weather. Because we live by the weather. If we do marine tourism, the sea, the tides, the wind, they all play a massive role in when we can go to sea or not.
For sure. As far as I understand, you are a thoroughbred sea dog of sorts, born and raised in Gansbaai, been in the water for so many reasons for such a long time. You're a qualified skipper. You've been a spear fisherman, a wreck diver even. How did you end up having so much water in your life? What attracted you to this kind of very odd, unusual way of spending your days?
You know, I grew up on a dairy farm.
Okay.
So having a dairy made me decide that I never want the dairy again because it's 365 days a year.
Yes.
So I only started diving after I left school, but then it went fast. We spearfished, and then I met a half crazy guy and we started doing wreck diving.
Yeah, what's wreck diving about?
Well, that is looking at old shipwrecks.
But was it for money? Was it a job or was it a pastime hobby?
We collected bits of copper starting off at the Birkenhead, believing that we'll find the supposedly gold, the treasure there. Yes. But at the same time, after that I went diamond diving, which was very hard and solid work in very cold water.
Where do you go diamond diving?
Namibia, and then on the west coast, near the Kukenap area.
Okay.
And in 1987, just for interest sake, in 1987, me and a friend of mine, while spearfishing about 1.5 kilometers offshore in the Quinn Point area, that is halfway between Danger Point, which is where we operate, and Cape Agulhas, halfway between there, we were spearfishing on a reef on the 1st of January 1987.
Sure, it was a big memory if you've got the date.
Yes. And we discovered a Danish shipwreck from 1787, and it had a load of Swedish plate money on it.
Sure.
So it was an incredible find.
What happens in that situation? You don't get to pocket it, do you? Don't you have to hand it over to the government as some kind of natural resource in marine protected waters?
Luckily, in those days, that was still Monuments Council.
Okay.
And they gave us a permit, and we worked with the Natural History Museum in Cape Town. The government could keep a representative sample.
Okay.
So we worked with the Natural History Museum. They took a representative sample and we could keep the rest.
What is plate money for those who don't know?
During the 1650s, 1660s to 1700, Sweden was in a 30-year war with Denmark, with France, with everybody.
And you said it was a Danish wreck.
But
with Swedish plate money.
Swedish plate money, yeah.
Okay.
So Sweden literally ran out of gold and silver for coins. And they had these amazing copper mine in Falun, which is quite north up in Sweden. And they started to make these big plates so that the weight of the copper was worth
Oh, I see.
the wave in silver or in gold. So they had to make it. We found $half that was quite small.
Yes.
Then $1, then $2, and
They're
a
enormous.
$4 was like a big piece of 2 kilogram copper.
And what, the Danish must have stolen it?
No,
In the war?
it was in payment. It was after the war.
Oh.
Sweden and Denmark got together, and that was used as payment for something that they wanted to go from the Middle East. Yeah.
Wow,
Yes,
that's so interesting.
amazing.
What an extraordinary thing.
Just in 1987, there was hardly anything written on copper plate money.
Sure.
A few English sentences. But in September of 1987, there was a book published. 1986, there was a book published, and it was a guy by the name of Bartel Tingstrom in Sweden.
Yeah.
And at 75, he did his PhD on copper plate money.
Wow. So your luck was in.
And he published the book in English.
So it just came out in time for you.
Yeah, it was an amazing coincidence. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, truly blessed. Okay,
Yeah.
so you've done so many extraordinary things and been a part of so many extraordinary things. You now own Dyer Island Cruises and Marine Dynamics. Can you tell me a little bit about both of those project companies?
I had a concrete business, and in 1998, October, I lost those businesses. In 1998, few businessmen, or many businessmen will remember that the interest rates then went up to 27%.
Yeah.
And because I was delivering to big companies, concrete, bricks, blocks, decking, 3 companies folded on me.
Sure.
And I lost my cash flow and I lost my business.
Sure.
So in 1999, I had a small little inflatable, 6.5 meter, and an old Land Rover, and I started this business by myself.
Wow. Okay.
And-
which one?
Dyer Island Cruises.
Okay.
That is just taking people to the island to watch the seals. In 1999 also, boat-based whale watching was the first year that boat-based whale watching was started in South Africa.
I see.
But because I had nothing, I didn't even apply for a permit. But in 2000, I did apply for the permit. And against the organized government,
Yeah.
I asked, they didn't give me a permit.
Oh, I see.
They
Okay.
didn't even look at my application in 2000. Wally Musa, who was then the Minister of Environmental Affairs and Tourism, which should be together actually.
Yeah.
He was the minister, and I appealed to him, and he gave me the permit.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this year, it's going to be 25 years since we started the boat race whale watching, and I inviting him. I've seen him in the meantime, but I've been inviting him to show what one minister, common sense and
Yes.
will to do good
Can yield.
can yield.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And then Marine Dynamics?
Marine Dynamics, the whale watching is a seasonal business.
Yes.
Our whales is mainly there from June to December.
Right.
So I needed something to carry me through the year. And in 2005, I bought Marine Dynamics, which was then a CC, and we changed it into a PTY. And I started the business very small. They had no boats, no clients, no nothing.
Wow.
And
Why did you buy them then?
Because I needed something, and I believed in myself.
Okay.
I believed in the people that was around me, and I believed in myself.
I see.
So
That's amazing. And so what does Marine Dynamics do?
everything.
Okay. I'm going to need a few specifics.
Marine Dynamics is, we do shark cage diving, which is a very important, basically conservation act for sharks.
Yes.
Because very few people, and we will probably come to that later, very few people care for sharks.
Yes.
And
They watch Jaws, they're scared
They
of them, they don't want
absolutely-
them around.
a dead shark is a good shark.
Yes.
So Marine Dynamics mainly does shark cage diving.
Okay.
I've got an amazing team around me, and I'm not I'm not a motivational speaker.
Right.
But when I sit with my team, I always say, if we start in Cape Town and we go all around Africa, where's the company that can be that can have a boat doing whale watching. Another boat is shark cage diving. A Land Rover is somewhere on the beach collecting a dead penguin.
Wow.
At the same time, there's a dead seal or a dolphin 50 kilometers away, and we're loading it on another vessel to do a necropsy later.
Sure. It's all you.
And at the same time, there's a lady giving classes to underprivileged school kids, and it all happens together.
Wow, that's incredible.
That is marine dynamics.
Yeah.
We're everywhere doing anything. At the same time, there's a lady running around in Europe doing marketing so that the people can come, and there's another lady in Cape Town doing the same.
Let's talk about how marine dynamics contributes to marine conservation through its ecotourism, blue tourism operations. I'm really interested in that idea, particularly around shark cage diving, but also with the whales and the rest.
You know, when I started the shark cage diving business, I employed a marine biologist, the only marine biologist that was in Gansbaai at that stage, Michael Skoll. He was a Swiss guy trying to do his PhD on sharks. So I employed him. And through the previous years, when I started this business in 2000, I often wanted to know more about Cape cormorants. I wanted to know more about seals, about dolphins, about this, about sharks. And there was virtually nothing in the Gansbaai area about these things, because the Cape Town tour, the Cape Town University and so on, they were doing their studies on Robben Island,
yes,
or Dussin Island, but nothing on Dyer. So for marine dynamics and Dyer Island cruises to be a successful business, we need to protect the animals that we're making a living from.
Yes.
We need to protect, and unless we know what these animals, where they are, why are they there, how is it, what do they feed on, what is their threats, we could not really protect them.
Sure.
We couldn't influence government and say, this is what we found, this is a peer-reviewed paper, this is a PhD, this is a master's.
So you guys do a lot of data collection
Data
stuff.
collection.
I
Data
see.
collection, critically important. But also, over the years, marine dynamics has has helped a lot of students study and do their masters and their PhDs in dolphins, seals, penguins, seabirds, whales. We've done over 40 peer-reviewed papers.
Wow.
At the same time, on the other side, we've helped a lot of students doing their masters and PhDs in tourism, because this is a unique thing where tourism and responsible tourism can also pay for conservation as well as education.
Yeah, so I want to ask about that, because a lot of people, particularly people who've never done shark cage diving, have misconceptions about it, or at least conceptions that it's potentially harmful or in some way hurts or exploits the sharks, unbalances marine ecosystems. But you clearly believe that it provides a service for conservation, for empathic connection and learning about sharks.
We will probably get to the fact that the great whites basically disappeared from Gansbaai.
Yeah, yeah.
But how many friends do you have that actually love sharks?
I don't think
How many would like to cuddle it like a like a little seal or a little penguin? How many people do you have?
Sub-zero.
Yeah, sub-zero. But sharks is a critically important fish in the ocean. It's an apex predator. It needs to be there to have a decent balance. So if the normal person on the street don't really care for sharks, who will protect them?
For sure.
Who will protect them? Our government, sadly, gives out long-lining permits to South African companies, and they're decimating. Inshore long-line shark operators decimate our shark populations, taking away the food of the great whites and, by accident, killing a lot of great whites. The Natal Sharks Board. We live in 2025. We're not in the ages of 17 and 18 and 1900s. And they still have the shark nets, killing indiscriminately turtles, dolphins, whales, and lots and lots and lots and lots of innocent sharks.
Okay.
But here in Cape Town, quite different. We've got the shark spotters.
Yes.
And they put the exclusion net out in the morning and they're taking away in the afternoon. And They have people eye on the heels with binoculars.
Boys drive,
so
yeah.
what an amazing feature that we can brag about in the Western Cape. We live in 2025. We don't live in 1950. It is sad things happening.
Yeah.
Our government, they've got the resources. They actually know better, but they're not doing better.
But fortunately, Marine Dynamics and also Cape Nature working together are. Talk to me about Marine Dynamics and Cape Nature's work together.
Since 1999, 2000, I've collected penguins from the island. The island is under the supervision and management of Cape Nature. So we've had a long history of really working hand in hand and close together. Over the last few years, we've got a memorandum of understanding. We have 3 monthly meetings, and not only about the island, and not only about penguins. We also work on the estuary and any animals coming out on shore. So I've got a very good understanding of Cape Nature's work in our whole area, and I think they also have a good understanding of working with us. We've got a very good understanding or working relationship with Cape Nature.
For sure. So we've heard about your epic dive and discovery of all of that copper, that plate money. But with the kind of activities that your companies lead and provide for people, the whale watching and the shark cage diving, is there any story when you want to really shake somebody up at a dinner party that you'd like to wheel out to tell about a time where you or one of your colleagues went out and something wild happened?
I want to break it up in two. My Bible is the visitor's book. Hardly is there a day when 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 of the visitors won't say, life-changing experience,
Wow.
life-changing experience, best experience in Africa, made my dreams come true,
Sure.
fantastic, incredible, wonderful crew. We actually make people's dreams come true.
Yeah.
Because, you know, our industry, again, if I speak to my team, I say that we are so lucky. Most people can only see these animals on Nat Geo or Discovery Channel or BBC.
Yeah.
That is how they live in their small little or big little houses or big houses or wherever in the world. And they have a dream to come to South Africa
Sure.
and see these animals. And we have the opportunity to take them out and make their dreams come true. So we are really making their dreams come true. That is a very important thing for all of us. We work with people's dreams. And by not doing your best, you can so easily not make his dream come true.
Sure.
So that is the one part of the incredible thing on this. The other part is, a few years ago, we don't normally used to find orcas in our area.
I see.
So I was up at a place, Grootbos, doing horse riding. And my son phones me from the boat, that is in 2016. And he said, Dad, so by the way, I've got 2 orcas next to the boat.
That's crazy.
And I think, you're lying. And I'm just kept on riding. And 5 minutes go by and he phones me again. And he said, Dad, are you coming? I'm with 2 orcas.
Wow.
And I said, Dickie, are you serious? And he said, of course I'm serious. So I turned around, I start phoning, and I said, we've got a readiness boat for any type of emergency or this or that. I said to the people, get the boat ready, take it to the harbour. And I raced down, got in my car, and I raced down. And because they had tourists on the boat, but the tourists didn't mind.
Okay.
And they all just stayed with these 2 orcas.
Amazing.
And when we got there, we spent another hour with them.
Wow.
The next morning, we saw them again.
Sure.
So it was really amazing, something unexpected. The next year, in 2017, these 2 orcas became really famous because they started killing the great white sharks.
Really? You met them before?
They met them before, yeah. Yes. So they now
Sure.
called Port and Starboard. I think it's our
Yes.
friend in Simonstown that gave them the name. They've got totally bent dorsal fins. Yes. And we don't know. Normally, it doesn't happen in nature. It happens in if they're kept in aquariums, whatever. But so these amazing animals. I've spent afterwards many an hour with them. Beautiful, clever animals, and a bit of a problem. But still, that's nature.
Most beautiful, clever things are a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So tell me some specific examples of conservation successes that have come from sustainable tourism initiatives. I know, I'm asking beyond the data collection, the contributions to research papers and the rest.
We started writing up humpback dolphins in our area long before it was known that they're actually in our area.
Sure.
Nowadays, they've got a huge study through a lot of different organizations looking at the humpback dolphins. They're threatened.
Okay.
I think our initial understanding of them and writing up on them, I think it's a real success story now. Absolutely. Because they're also on Happy Whale nowadays. You can put your citizen science, you can put your photo there, and Happy Whale will recognize your little dolphin, and that makes it a lot more visible everywhere. Shark cage diving.
Yeah.
Through pressure, putting a lot of pressure on government, we secured a massive, or not a massive, a small area, right from Kleinbaai to Dyer Island, right down to Pearly Beach and back, as a no-catch zone for sharks.
I see.
Because sometimes the unfortunate happened and the fishermen came in and they caught the sharks right where the tourism boats is. So, one or two of the things. Penguin, we started with the penguin nest project. And nowadays it's one of the most important conservation efforts that we do on penguins is the penguin nest project. So, some of the things that came about.
So tell me about how marine or blue tourism benefits local communities in and around the Western Cape. I imagine there's jobs to be made everywhere and all kinds of ways that people can kind of deepen, for most of us who've lived near the coast all of our lives, our relationships with the sea and its sea life.
One of the things that I'm not a preacher, but one of the things that I preach constantly is that to government.
Yes.
You know who I preach it most? To government, to the people in those offices that don't understand it.
Yes.
Is that these businesses must benefit the poorest of the poor.
Sure.
If you walk into our place, you will see a nice fancy shop. But that nice fancy shop hardly ever buys anything that's not made by local organizations, people giving local people work. And local, I say, in the Overberg and even in Cape Town, but also from beadwork, also from KwaZulu-Natal, and this from there and that from there. Small little leather things from here. So the poorest of the poor needs to benefit from these rich tourists that we get through hard work from overseas, and they come into your place and they need to leave something, and they leave their money there and they go back with incredible memories, but the poorest of the poor benefit from that.
Absolutely. So tell me about, because it seems like blue tourism has been tremendously successful and is growing from strength to strength around the Western Cape through companies like yours. Tell me about moments when you have to go, okay, do I need to pull back a little bit or change the way that I'm doing ecotourism for sustainability and for conservation? Like are there moments when you go, okay, like is there such thing as over shark cage diving, for example?
Shark cage diving, the numbers for shark cage diving in 2016, the industry took out 85,000 people shark cage diving amongst the 8 operators.
Okay.
Last year, the 5 remaining operators took out 35,000 people.
Oh, interesting.
So a drastic decline.
Reduction. Okay.
Drastic decline in packs. And you say over tourism, I also want to bring in something different, and that is the shark cage diving as well as the whale watching has got the best rules in the world.
Okay.
Really, that was very well done from the government side from the beginning. On whale watching, you can only approach, so this is the approach distances, this is that. Your guys needed to be trained well. Obviously, from marine dynamics side, we always look at the animal first.
Right.
The animal first.
Right.
And if everybody at sea would have thought about the animal first, then you don't even need these rules and regulations.
For sure.
I don't think anywhere in South Africa there's really over tourism in the marine environment. The whale watching boats, there's only so many boats.
Yes.
And worldwide, we have examples to follow, like the same type of whales is in Argentina. They only have 8 or 10 boats in a certain area. We only have 4 or 5 boats in a certain area, and so on. So I really think that our marine laws is looking after the animals.
Okay, that's interesting. And finally, I wanted to ask, what do you hope changes in South Africa, whether it be through government policy or evolution of the markets, the sector that you're in, to improve and strengthen our blue tourism economy in the coming years?
We're looking at different markets. We've just recently been to India. It's a massive market there. We need to accommodate them in ways that will not impound badly on the marine environment. But there's a massive market there. The Chinese is a massive market. Obviously, different companies go for different markets, but I do think that we can accommodate them. I want government's eyes to be open and really look at different opportunities. We in the Western Cape, we in the Southern Ocean, we get massive winter storms. We get strong southeasterlies. 100 days a year, you can just say bad weather. And that is one of the horrible things when you have to send the pre-bookings that you have to just give the money back. It's a killer. So we need every bit of cooperation from government that we can get.
I hear you.
To make up for these lost opportunities. I think there's still a few other things that can be done marine-wise. I think there's brilliant guys out there that can come up with new things. One of the new things is the megapods of humpback whales that's suddenly on our west coast feeding. That is opening up new areas of tourism. Diving maybe more, although our water is cold and quite often not so the visibility bad. But yeah, there's probably, and penguin wise, dolphin wise, there's opportunities.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Wilfred. I really have enjoyed this conversation, and thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of Green Noise in season 2, live from Assegaaibosch in Yonkers. Thank you so much.